Britain in the 1950s wanted to rebuild its pride, one automobile at a time. Factories that once built Spitfires now built family saloons, and the promise was simple: better roads, better lives, better cars. But not every promise was kept. Behind polished showroom windows, a parade of disappointments rolled through British driveways. Some cars rusted before their first winter ended, others handled so badly that police officers gave them nicknames no brochure would print. And waiting at number 1 is a car so ordinary, so safely mediocre, that its success became Britain's quiet embarrassment. Now let's begin with number 10. Number 10, Austin A90 Atlantic. Launched by Austin in 1949, Austin A90 Atlantic carried enormous expectations into the new decade. This was Britain's answer to American glamour: sweeping curves, twin flying badges, and a central spotlight mounted like a jewel. Under the bonnet sat a 2,660cc four-cylinder engine producing 88 horsepower, enough for a top speed near 92 miles per hour. The cabin offered leather upholstery and gold-faced gauges, luxury rarely seen in a British four-cylinder saloon. But expectations collided with reality. Buyers found the styling excessive, and the price rivaled cars with far more powerful engines. Would you have paid Bentley-adjacent money for a four-cylinder convertible? Few did. The hydraulic hood and windows, meant to impress, proved troublesome and costly to maintain. Reliability wasn't catastrophic, but public reaction stayed lukewarm at best. History remembers the Atlantic as a bold, beautiful miscalculation, ambitious in confidence but misjudged in execution. But the very next car's failure ran far deeper than styling alone. Number 9, Vauxhall Cresta E-Series. Introduced in 1954, Vauxhall Cresta E-Series was Vauxhall's flagship, styled with American flair to bring Jaguar-style presence within reach of buyers. Sitting atop the Wyvern and Velox range, it paired a smooth 2,262cc six-cylinder engine with two-tone paintwork and a fascia-mounted clock that felt genuinely upmarket. Early buyers loved the glamour. Would you have felt proud pulling into the driveway in one? Many did, at first. But this is where the real disappointment began. The Cresta's advanced monocoque body was left with minimal factory rust-proofing, and water crept in through screen seals and door seams. Corrosion attacked the sills, floor, and structural bulkhead within a handful of British winters. The 3-speed column gearbox already felt outdated. Mechanically, the 6-cylinder proved durable, but the body simply didn't survive Britain's damp climate. Today the Cresta is remembered fondly, yet owners learned that glamour and durability rarely travel together. That wasn't even the biggest problem waiting on this list. Number 8, Triumph Mayflower. Unveiled at the 1949 Motor Show and delivered from 1950 onward, the Mayflower was standard Triumph's attempt to shrink Rolls-Royce elegance into an affordable family car. Its razor-edge styling mimicked great luxury saloons, and buyers expected something genuinely special. Under the bonnet sat a modest 1,247cc four-cylinder engine producing just 38 horsepower. But what happened next surprised almost everyone. The Mayflower crawled from 0 to 50 in over 26 seconds, with a top speed barely above 60 miles per hour. Would this have impressed you in 1951? Testers admired its build quality and leather cabin, yet the driving experience felt sluggish even by contemporary standards. Its polarizing look split public opinion, some calling it distinguished, others calling it simply odd. Sales never met expectations, production stalling around 34,000 cars. History remembers it as a fascinating idea let down by underwhelming performance. But none of these failures quite compared to what waited near the very top. Number 7, Jowett Javelin. Launched in 1947 by a small Yorkshire firm, the Javelin arrived as one of Britain's most innovative saloons. Designed by engineer Gerald Palmer, it featured an aerodynamic monocoque body, torsion bar suspension, and a lightweight flat-four engine displacing 1,486 cc, producing around 50 horsepower. Journalists praised its handling and low center of gravity. The interior felt spacious for its class. Would you have trusted a small manufacturer with your family's safety? Many British buyers did, at first. But this is where the real disappointment began. Early engines suffered repeated crankshaft breakages and bearing failures, traced to weaknesses in the block casting. Jowett's own gearbox proved troublesome, with dozens failing within the first 1,000 units built. Despite genuine racing success at Le Mans, its reputation for unreliability spread faster than engineers could fix it. Jowett ceased trading in 1954. History remembers it as brilliant engineering betrayed by rushed execution. Number 6. Standard Vanguard Phase 1. Announced in July 1947 and sold heavily into the early 1950s, the Vanguard was Standard's first true post-war design, styled with American-inspired curves after its designer sketched Plymouths parked near the US Embassy in London. Buyers expected a modern family car. Power came from a 2088cc four-cylinder engine producing 68 horsepower, enough for a top speed near 79 miles per hour. The three-speed column gearbox felt increasingly old-fashioned as the decade progressed. Would you have chosen sensible over stylish in 1953? Many did, and nearly 185,000 Vanguards found buyers. But that wasn't even the biggest problem. Rivals like the Austin A70 Hereford offered similar practicality, while newer designs made the Vanguard's bulbous shape feel dated within a few years. Reliability was solid, yet excitement was almost entirely absent. Today it survives as a nostalgic time capsule rather than a beloved classic. The next car then pushed disappointment into a different price bracket altogether. Number 5. Armstrong Siddeley Sapphire 234 and 236. Launched at the 1955 London Motor Show, these smaller Sapphires were meant to bring aircraft-grade engineering within reach of professional buyers. The 236 used a 2,290cc six-cylinder engine, while the sportier 234 offered twin carburetors. Interiors featured leather seating and finely finished walnut trim, exactly what buyers expected from a marque favored by royalty. But that same week, Jaguar unveiled its own new saloon, later known as the Mark I. The comparison was brutal. Jaguar's car looked sleek, the Sapphire looked old-fashioned and top-heavy after last-minute styling changes raised its roofline. Would you have chosen tradition over innovation? Almost nobody did. Sales collapsed almost immediately, and the smaller Sapphires became a footnote in Armstrong Siddeley's decline. Mechanically capable, beautifully built, yet abandoned, they remain a lesson in how one bad motor show can end a car's future overnight. We are halfway on this countdown, and if you leave now, you'll miss the most shocking failure on this list. Number 4. Austin A70 Hereford. Introduced in 1950 as Austin's mid-range family saloon, the Hereford promised comfortable, dependable motoring for Britain's growing middle class. Its 2,199cc four-cylinder engine produced around 68 horsepower, giving performance broadly similar to its main rival, the standard Vanguard. Its interior was practical, with bench seating and simple instrumentation for everyday families. Styling followed a conservative, bulbous shape typical of early 1950s Austin design. Would you have picked the Hereford over its flashier rivals? Very few British buyers did. One hidden flaw would eventually define its reputation: total anonymity. While Standard sold Vanguards by the hundreds of thousands, the Hereford managed only around 50,000 units, overshadowed by Austin's own more popular models further down the range. Reliability was reasonable, but nothing about the driving experience stood out. History barely remembers the Hereford today, a forgotten middle child in Austin's post-war lineup. But the very next entry disappointed an entirely different kind of British buyer. Number 3. Daimler Conquest. Launched in 1953, the Conquest was meant to defend Daimler's prestige against an aggressive rival, Jaguar. Powered by a 2,433cc six-cylinder engine producing around 75 horsepower, it offered smooth cruising wrapped in traditional British luxury, with options including Daimler's fluid flywheel and pre-selector gearbox. Buyers expected craftsmanship befitting a royal warrant holder. But the real reason buyers abandoned Daimler comes down to simple comparison. Jaguar's rival saloons offered more power, sportier handling, and lower prices, making the Conquest feel expensive and dated by comparison. The pre-selected transmission, though clever, felt archaic against modern all-synchromesh gearboxes appearing elsewhere. Would you have paid a premium for heritage? Fewer buyers than Daimler hoped. Build quality stayed excellent, yet excitement was in short supply. Sales told the real story, falling steadily as Jaguar's Mark models captured Britain's imagination instead. History remembers the Conquest as dignified but doomed. Compared to a car what's coming next, Daimler Conquest almost looks like a success story. Number 2. Riley Pathfinder. Unveiled at the 1953 London Motor Show, the Pathfinder was designed by Gerald Palmer to be Riley's finest saloon yet, powered by a potent 2,443cc twin-cam four-cylinder engine producing 110 horsepower, enough for over 100 miles per hour. Enthusiasts expected Riley sporting heritage reborn. But few buyers saw this coming. Rushed into production before testing was finished, early Pathfinders suffered a dangerous flaw. The panhard rod locating the rear axle could shear under hard cornering, sending the car sliding toward the nearest hedge or ditch. Journalists nicknamed it the Ditchfinder. One dismissive comment from a company test driver became infamous: the car could barely be steered or stopped safely. Would you have trusted your family to a car with that reputation? Most Britons wouldn't. Though later models were properly sorted by 1954, the damage to Riley's name was permanent. Only around 5,000 were ever built. But absolutely nothing prepares you for number 1. Number 1. Ford Zephyr 6 Mark I. Launched in 1951, the Zephyr became Britain's best-selling family saloon of the decade, powered by a smooth 2,262cc six-cylinder engine producing 68 horsepower and offering brisk performance for its class. On paper, this looks like a success story, not a failure. So why does it belong at number 1? Because the Zephyr's popularity revealed something uncomfortable about British taste. Buyers overwhelmingly chose safe, unremarkable competence over genuine innovation. Mechanically, the Zephyr was sound and dependable, yet nothing about it pushed British engineering forward. While smaller manufacturers gambled on bold styling, advanced suspension, or genuine performance, millions of families simply bought whatever felt safest and most familiar. Would you have wanted more from your national car industry? Many historians now argue Britain did. The Zephyr's staggering sales success arguably let manufacturers avoid the harder work of real innovation for years afterward. History still remembers it fondly today, yet its true legacy remains quietly shameful. So there you have it, 10 British cars that promised much and let their own country down. From flamboyant convertibles nobody could afford, to rust that ate through steel, and finally a bestseller whose real crime was being safe. Britain's 1950s motor industry built genuine brilliance, yet let mediocrity win the sales charts instead. Would any of these have earned your money back then? Let us know which one surprised you most in the comments below. If you enjoyed this journey through Britain's forgotten automotive history, consider subscribing to Britain Rewind for more forgotten stories from British automotive history, and we'll see you in the next amazing video.